Imagine this, a bone-chilling dawn in 1531 Tudor England, where frost clings to the Thames' muddy banks like a shroud, and the air hums with the paranoia of a kingdom on the brink. In the bustling, smoky kitchens of Bishop John Fisher's Lambeth Palace, a wiry cook named Richard Roose stirs a massive cauldron of porridge, its earthy steam curling around his calloused hands. He's no schemer, no assassin, just a man surviving in a snake pit of political intrigue, where a single misstep could brand you a traitor. England's a tinderbox. King Henry VIII, a tempestuous giant with a crown and a grudge, is locked in a war with the Pope over his marriage to Catherine of Aragon. He craves a son, a divorce, and absolute power, but the Pope won't budge, and Fisher, gaunt and resolute, stands like a rock, championing Catherine's sacred vows. No king can unbind what God has forged, Fisher preaches, his voice echoing through Rochester's pulpits, each word a dagger to Henry's pride. In this age, poison isn't just murder, it's sacrilege, a violation of Christian hospitality that turns bread into betrayal. Noble households employ tasters, men who chew with trembling lips, praying each bite isn't their last. Fisher's palace is a fortress under siege. Guards frisk visitors, servants eye each sack of flour with suspicion, and whispers of death threats, crude sketches of nooses, a rat stuffed with toxin, haunt the halls. Roose, 35, with a mop of brown hair and a knack for hearty stews, navigates this tension daily. He's been at Lambeth 5 years, his apron stained with service, his humor crude but kind, a servant's way to cope. Days earlier, in a dim Lambeth alehouse, a stranger in a drab cloak slid a vial across a scarred table. "A jest, cook," the man murmured, voice low as the Thames tide. "A pinch of this laxative will send the bishop's guests sprinting to the privy." A laugh for lean times. Roose, chuckling at the thought of pompous clerics clutching breeches, pocketed the powder. What harm? A prank to pierce the gloom. Back in the kitchen, February 18th dawns gray, the hearth crackling like a warning. Roose stirs the porridge, oats for the bishop's table, where scholars and courtiers will debate Henry's great matter, and for the poor, shivering at the gates for charity's gruel. He glances around, no eyes on him. Just a joke, he thinks, uncorking the vial. A whisper of white dust swirls into the pot, dissolving like frost in flame. He whistles, stirs deeper, and sends the porridge out. In the dining hall, Fisher, face etched with fasting's toll, leads grace. Bless this meal, O Lord, and those who partake. Spoons clink as guests. Bennet Kirwan, a florid cleric, Thomas More's cousin, a nervous lawyer, a dour monk, dig in, their talk of papal bulls mingling with laughter. Outside, beggars clutch bowls, an old crone muttering, "God save the bishop." For an hour, all's well. Then, hell breaks loose. Kirwan drops his spoon, face twisting like a wrung cloth. "My gut!" he gasps, vomiting across the oak table. Another guest collapses, retching. Screams erupt as chairs topple. Outside, the poor fare no better. A woman crumples, foam at her lips. A father convulses, his child's wail piercing the mist. 17 fall ill, their cramps like knives, sweat-soaking woolen tunics. Physicians rush in, leeches and purges useless. By noon, Kirwan's breath rattles out, his rosary clutched tight. The beggar woman dies in the mud, her bowl shattered. Fisher, spared by a Lenten fast, "Divine mercy," he whispers, watches his household become a charnel house. Suspicion turns to the kitchen. "Who cooked?" a guard barks. All fingers point to Roose, seen with the vial, now pale as ash. "A jest," he cries as chains snap on. "Laxative, not poison. A stranger gave it." But his words drown in wails. Dragged to the tower, Roose faces the rack, limbs stretched, joints popping. "Who was he?" Interrogators snarl. Roose, through tears, repeats. "Ordinary man, alehouse, swore it harmless. No witnesses, no vial, only his trembling truth." Was he a fool, duped by a shadow? Or a pawn in a darker game? Fisher's enemies abound. King's men itching to silence a critic, Catholics fearing schism, rogues sniffing chaos. Could Henry himself have orchestrated it, framing Fisher's fall? London splits. Taverns call Roose a dimwit, markets whisper assassin, alleys hint conspiracy. Henry, Poison-obsessed, sees a chance. "This strikes the realm," he roars in Whitehall, pacing amid tapestries. Poison's his nightmare, coward's blade, lurking in wine or bread. He summons Parliament. "Make example." The act for poisoning passes in weeks, a monstrous law branding poison high treason, retroactively snaring Roose. Ex post facto, it shatters legal sanctity, no crime sans prior statute. Yet none dare oppose Henry's wrath. The punishment, boiling alive. On April 5th, Smithfield Market transforms into a grim circus. A cauldron, 8 feet wide, forged in Surrey, bubbles over oak-fueled fires, steam twisting like spirits. 5,000 pack the square, nobles in casements, apprentices on rooftops, vendors hawking pies in grotesque irony. Roose, rack-ravaged, shuffles from the tower, eyes cauldron-fixed, terror etching his face. "Mercy!" he rasps. Stranger's fault. The crowd, half pity, half rage, watches as chains hoist him. The sentence booms. "Traitor by toxin." Feet touch water. His scream, per hall, mighty loud, splits the din, flesh blisters, legs cook, water reddens. 2 hours of torment. Thrashing fades to whimpers, skin sloughs, bones gleam. The smell, meaty, sickening, gags onlookers. Women faint, children flee, but thousands stay, hypnotized by horror. When it ends, Roose's husk is carted to a pauper's pit. Silence smothers Smithfield. Henry, absent, nods at reports. Fear forged, enemies warned. The act claims another, Margaret Davy, 1542, boiled for poisoning, strangled first. Fisher falls in 1535, beheaded for defying Henry's church. The laws repealed in 1547, Edward VI's mercy erasing Henry's terror, but Roose's scream echoes in legal texts, a warning against retroactive laws' unchecked power. "Smithfield's clean now, but dig deep," Tudor ghosts whisper. So, history seekers, let Roose's fate burn in you. One jest, one misstep, can boil a life away. Question every powder, challenge every tyrant. Like this tale if it gripped your soul. Share it with a friend who loves history's shadows, and subscribe, bell on, for more dives into the past cauldron. You're not just watching history, you're stirring it. Be bold, be wise, don't let your choices simmer into regret. Stay curious, and let's keep the fire of truth burning.